This perfectly describes why I'm not a fan of these kinds of games. Because on one part you have these long RPG segments and the open world and everything around it. And it really feels like if you don't engage with the world, you're gonna miss out. But then the open world is filled with so much trash and distractions. It's hard to remember what is the main story. And this kinda makes sense. But do you remember the last main cutscenes and everything? Like, how far does your memory reach in terms of the main storyline? And in the context of the main storyline, this makes sense. We had a lot of traumatic, action-packed sequences. First with the hospital, and we chased after Mary. We got her ripped from us because of the bad guys' motivations. We had those really sick dream sequences where we even chased after them. We had those really nice boss fights that were thematic and enhanced the terror of the situation. And here we are now supposed to catch a breath. But the problem is, I took my breath ages ago. Each time I went and went collecting spirits, collected those shrines, cleansed those shrines, took care of the Jesus, hunted those yokai. Those were the sequences where I took my breath and relaxed. So this being here is extremely boring. Like, I cannot stress enough how boring and uninteresting this is. Even so, this is supposed to be the segment of me connecting more with my inner self, why I'm such a ferret, scared easily to spook, always running away, This is the segment where I, with KK, will face that reality and become a bigger man. Or will become zen with myself. Equalize in union, all of that good shit. But like I said, sure, we had those boss fights before that should get us pumping, but the scaredness, urgency, and terror we had in the previous segments, even leading up to the first boss fight of this game, which we just had to repeat with the phase 2, had so much more going for it. Like, I was just fighting. There was no spooky cutscene, no ghosty thinginess. They just placed him there and I fought it. And I think the spider fight is a really cool fight. I'm just not tired. I'm awake, I'm paying attention, and so I blocked and dodged almost everything. Insert here a collage how I got hit 6 times and almost died. But that's besides the point. The spider fight was actually really cool. If you look at the effects and everything working together. That would have been a fight that would probably have been looked better out of third person. Um, and then, like I said, the second fight was almost straight after. And again, no building up terror or spookiness or scariness. Instantly the next fight, and I was like, last fight I learned that I can jump over his fire rings. So I'm gonna do that. And I even got ready for when he made the wind attack to block it, and then it was suddenly tornadoes. So I ran between those and dodged them that way. And now we are here. I'm tired of this. But please also understand, a lot of this tiredness also comes from me having looked into game development and paying more attention. And like I said, I'm not the kind of guy these kind of games are made for. But, just to say this phrase that I said before again, I don't think this game is fun, but it is entertaining, and that is why I'm keeping going, because those dream sequences, those terror and fear acts they made in were so creative. They had such a good graphical direction and story direction. I absolutely love those segments. But in the last 45 minutes, this game has been slacking. Even the overworld is those places where I was were lazy at best. And this is not a bad way of making the main character face his fear. Like, from what I could guess right now is that when something happened, and I would guess that their mom died, which is the main theme why they had conflict between each other, Akio never stopped and faced the death of his mother. And ever since then, he has been running from responsibility. So why does it make sense that Akio is actually fighting these beasts and monsters when he has been a scaredy cat his entire life? And that is pretty damn obvious, because he is fighting to distract him from facing what he is most scared of, from losing another family member. And now that the voice in his head asked him if he was really saving his sister, Mary, or if he just didn't want to be the reason why she died. Like, is he only doing damage control? Because this is what he is most scared of. Can I pat myself on the back a little bit for absolutely nailing that monologue there? To the music and everything.
しぶりだよな。くそ、目を背けるな、アキト。
Here's where I really wanna shred the game for distracting me with those pick-uppables. Don't throw more goodies. Not in this sequence. This is supposed to be an emotional sequence. Don't throw me goodies, soul, spirits, whatever, or items to pick up. Don't make me happy. Let the player feel what you're trying to tell him.
お母さん、大丈夫だよね。やだよ。お母さんいなくなる。なんでみんないなくなるんだ。
Wow! A drink! Poggers!
お兄ちゃん、どこにいるの？どこ？病院だよ。早く病院に来てよ。
Now I will shut up. I've made my points.